Howdy! Today, I'm going to show you a demo of how to use ChatGPT to generate content for Ignition Perspective. I'm going to assume you, the viewer, have some background with Ignition. It's built by inductive automation, it's used for building enterprise SCADA systems, and home automation systems if you're plucky. And Perspective is a mobile-focused SCADA development platform that Inductive has built with HTML5 and CSS3. It's flexible, it's lightweight, it's pretty fun to develop with, but for this video, all that's important to know is that under the hood, it uses a lot of JSON. So, ChatGPT. It's an artificial intelligence chatbot. A lot of people are talking about it. It's fairly new in the public eye, primarily for how versatile it is, and I've had some limited success writing code with it. So today, our goal is to use the ChatGPT bot to modify some JSON that is used under the hood to make a perspective view. So if you're not from a SCADA development background, you might be asking yourself, why bother doing this? I started looking into this because I wanted to know if my job was going to get taken by a chatbot, but also because automation is kind of cool. It's what I get to do every day, and I love looking for new ways to automate everyday tasks. Let's start by showing y'all how I prepared some perspective data for ChatGPT. I'm going to be using Microsoft Windows, Ignition 8.1, and Notepad++, the connoisseur's choice for text editors. So I've got this lovely perspective view open, and I've just created two icons inside of it. It's a very, very basic view, not a whole lot to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and export it, and we're gonna take a look at the file structure of this export. So let's unpack it really quickly. There's some basic project information, and inside of the folders we have some resource information that's not all that important. The key piece of information that I'm curious about is this view piece. So let's take a look at that. So you'll see right away that there's not a whole lot to it. It's only about 40 lines, but it's packed with pretty much everything we need to describe what was going on in this view. So it has the height and width of these icons, as well as their physical positions, and a little bit of other metadata. So I'm just going to take this raw text, I'm gonna jump right over to ChatGPT, and let's start messing around with it. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to see if it can parse this text and just tell me a little bit about it. So it's telling me a couple of things already. That's very, very helpful. It's figured out most of what is being done. It's correctly guessed that it's used for a GUI of sorts, and it's describing all of the relevant parts of it, which is awesome. Let's see if it's smart enough to figure out where the positions are of the icons. Boom, right away, 290 and 177. I actually put a typo in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and edit it really quickly. And this just also is one of the really cool and powerful things about ChatGPT. It's fairly easy to edit things on the fly. So I only said one icons, but I actually would say there are two icons. So I'm gonna just change the is to are, and I'm gonna make that plural. And we're gonna submit that, and it's already identified that I intended to ask for two icons and went and provided all that information for it. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's kick it up a notch. So next, I'm going to ask it to add another icon in, and I want it to reposition the other two icons. And we're gonna do something special with this code. We're gonna go back to our Notepad++, and we're gonna take this code that it's generating right now. It's almost finished. And we're going to just paste it right back in to the system. I'm going to save this. I'm going to head over to the file system, and I am just going to repackage and re-zip this project, and we're going to call this test 1. Now, back in Ignition, over here, I am going to go into the file system and perform an import. I'm going to grab this zip file with all this stuff. I'm going to perform import, and look at this. It's asking me whether or not I want to create a new perspective view. So I'm going to overwrite, and boom, look at that. There are 3 icons now at positions 30-30, 30-60, and 60-30. Pretty awesome, right? But wait, it gets even better. So I am going to get it to do something a little silly, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to change the names of these icons, because icon 0 and icon 1 and icon 2 aren't really all that cool. And I want the names to be unique American cities with populations over 500,000 people, and without a whole lot of effort, it's identified that the name property is inside of the meta object, and boom, Los Angeles at that position, and Houston at this position. And last of all, we have probably, Phoenix at that position. I mean, it's so quick to figure out stuff like this. And I will tell you right now, this is a correctly formed file. If I were to import this, all 3 of these icons over here with the names that are specified in this text. So I do want to save the best for last, though. I want to do a couple of things at once with ChatGPT. We're gonna have 6 icons, not 3. All the names are going to be top-ranked inductive automation integrators. And the color property, which has not even been defined anywhere in this text, is going to get added in. I happen to know that it belongs under the props object for each icon, and that it's going to expect a hex sort of a format. So that is 3 changes to this at once. Let's see how it does. Wow, look at that. It's Vertex. They are pretty well known within the Ignition community. Now it has gotten the color in the wrong place. Interestingly enough, it's also placed it into the meta area. It doesn't belong there, so we're gonna need to do a little bit of work to take it out of that. And this is part of one of the places where I can really say my experience with inductive automation helps. I happen to know, thankfully, that the color property doesn't really belong in meta. This may compile, but the proper place for the color is really within the props piece. And it did a pretty good job. So what I'm going to do is ask it kindly, please remove the color property from the meta object. So it wasn't what we asked it to do. It decided to go ahead and take some initiative, and ChatGPT does do that. I actually do want to see if this can compile. I'm curious, because Ignition can be kind of flexible in letting things compile. So let's go over. I'm going to save it. And I don't know if Integro Technologies is an actual integrator. Maybe they are. If they're listening, howdy. Let's go ahead and import back into Perspective this new test. We gotta go to File. We're gonna go Import, Test 2, Overwrite. Oh my gosh, It actually worked. Huh. No, wait. It didn't quite do it. It was mostly correct, but look at this. It's gone ahead and named the coordinate container to a city. That's a little bit silly. Now, it's done a lot of things correctly, and even some things I didn't even ask it to do. It's repositioned the icons with roughly the same spacing that I asked of it before, and it's done all the naming and the color changes. But it definitely did a couple of things I wasn't expecting, like this coordinate container piece, and even just the basic positioning. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I needed to show y'all. A couple of notes. Don't ask it to do math. It's really, really, really bad at math. And I will just say, hey, play around with this yourself. Let me know in the comments what you're able to come up with. I would love to see more about this. And that's all I got for today. Thank you very much, and take it easy out there.